Hey, how's it going? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here for some music news for you guys. Feels like it's been a while since I've done any music news videos on this channel, but I think that's because there really hasn't been a heck of a whole lot of music news to go over in recent time. At least nothing too big or exciting, but there has been some very exciting music news to come out recently that I do want to cover here in this video. And for those of you who follow my channel who may not know about this news about these bands putting out new music soon, hopefully you find these videos very informative. So there are a couple bands here that I do want to briefly talk about. Now, one of the bands we have heard news from recently is Judas Priest. I'm sure a lot of you have heard at this point. Judas Priest have finally announced their brand new album, and it's entitled Invincible Shield, and it will release in March 2024, which is really exciting. We're finally getting another Judas Priest album. I mean, we knew that Judas Priest have been working on a new album for some time now, but we weren't exactly sure when it was going to release. But we do have confirmation that it will release in 2024, which is really exciting news for sure. I mean, it is Judas Priest. They are, of course, metal legends. And I'm especially excited for this album, given how strong their last album was, Firepower. I thought that that was a really great album, and in my opinion, I think that that was honestly the best thing Judas Priest has put out in a number of years. Which, at the same time, I'm not going to lie, which does lead me to have concerns for this next album, because one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of bands, it's not with every band, but it is with a lot of bands. Whenever a legendary band puts out an album and it ends up being their best album in years, it does leave you to wonder, what else are they going to do next? Where else could they go from that album? You know, how could they top this? And I think that's one of the main concerns whenever a band puts out their best material in a while. Where else could they go after that? So that is one of my concerns for Invincible Shield, but I think regardless if it will be better than Firepower or just as good or worse, regardless of what the situation may be, I'm sure it'll still be a strong album. Even if it's not as good as Firepower, I'm still expecting it to be a very strong album, because I think that the majority of the Judas Priest albums have been very good. But if it does end up being better than Firepower, then great. I mean, that would be quite the accomplishment. Nonetheless, I am definitely excited for this new Judas Priest record, Invincible Shield. I do think it'll be a good one. I mean, again, will it be better than Firepower? We'll just have to see on that. But it comes out in March, which is really exciting. So the other news that I have heard recently is about Deftones. So I think we all know at this point that Deftones are also working on a new album. And I think the likelihood of them releasing a new album in 2024 is really strong, actually. I'd be willing to bet that Deftones will release their new album in 2024, you know, at least based on everything that I've heard. I believe they are eyeing up a 2024 release for their next album, which is really exciting. And it would make sense, too, because one of the things that I've noticed about Deftones is I've noticed they release a new album like every 4 years. Like I think Koyo no Kan released in 2012, and then Gore released in 2016, and then Ohms released in 2020. So I guess it would make sense for their next album to release in 2024. Because I believe since Koyo no Kan, that's when they did the 4-year cycle thing. Like, they've been releasing new albums like every 4 years. So it's not like it would be, you know, totally unreasonable to believe that the next Deftones album will release in 2024. I think there's a strong possibility of that. In fact, I have heard that that's what they're, you know, aiming towards. They're aiming towards a 2024 release, which is really exciting for sure. So, of course, can't go wrong with Deftones. I am truly believing we will get the new Deftones album in 2024. So, of course, can't go wrong with Deftones. They've never released a bad album, and you already know that this new one will be good. I mean, I'm sure of that. Will it be better than Ohms? We'll have to see. Only time will tell, of course. But either way, that is some music news for you guys regarding these two bands. Of course, both great bands. Definitely excited for both. These albums are definitely some of my most anticipated albums of 2024 for sure. So let me know what you think. Are you a fan of either of these bands, Judas Priest or Deftones? Are you excited for any of these albums? Feel free to let me know. So with that said, thanks for watching. Have a good one.